The Board of Directors of Women Against Gun Violence is pleased to welcome you to our 28th Annual Courageous Leadership Awards event. This year, and every year, we stand united to prevent gun violence. And now, please join us as we welcome Honorary Chair Denita Willoughby.
Hello and welcome. I am so proud to be invited back to be the Honorary Chair for the Women Against Gun Violence's 28th Annual Leadership Awards event. This past year, Women Against Gun Violence continued to focus on firearm accessibility through legislative action and with its Talk Project on safe gun storage. Many of you already know that unintentional shootings in the home increased dramatically as gun sales continued to surge during the pandemic. Safe gun storage is more important than ever. And as we look to the future, we are expanding our focus beyond firearm accessibility to tackle the root cause and systemic inequality that actually lead to gun violence. And that's why this year we are honoring those individuals, programs, and organizations that are both part of the community, but also do the hard work in the community to break the cycle of gun violence. This year, our theme is We Stand United. Yes, we stand united to prevent gun violence. And we are honoring, drumroll please, our first honoree is Deputy Chief Emada Tingirides. She oversees the Los Angeles Police Department's Community Safety Partnership. We will also recognize the Urban Peace Institute. We will also honor the Los Angeles City Attorney's Program, Children Exposed to Gun Violence Initiative in South Los Angeles. And we'll also recognize the REACH team that makes the City Attorney's Program work. I also want to give a special shout out to Kyland Turner, who will be sharing an original poem with you today. So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the event. But before I leave, I just want to give a special thank you to all of you for your support. And yes, we stand united on our journey to fight gun violence.
Thank you, Denita, for that warm welcome. And I want to echo Denita in welcoming you to Women Against Gun Violence's 28th Annual Leadership Awards event. I'm delighted that you're here with us. I'm Lauren Lieb, the Board Chair of Women Against Gun Violence. Our Board of Directors is comprised of 18 dedicated women and men who don't just talk the talk about preventing gun violence, they walk the walk. And we've been busy during the past year. The Talk Project is our signature program to educate parents and caregivers about safe gun storage. The pandemic limited our ability to have Talk Project trainings in person, but the circumstances of the pandemic made it more important than ever. Families spent more time together at home, often under less than ideal and stressful conditions. Unfortunately, far too many people responded to the fear and uncertainty by purchasing firearms, including many first-time firearm owners. This mix of fear, anxiety, and firearms increased the risk for fatal domestic violence, unintentional shootings, and firearm suicide. But we know that limiting access to firearms by storing them safely, which means storing them unloaded, locked, and with the ammunition locked separately, can save a life. Because we couldn't be out in the community educating parents about the Talk Project, we created an online tutorial with board member Diana Georger to help parents and caregivers learn how to have a meaningful and non-confrontational discussion about protecting children in the home from unsafely stored firearms. I encourage you to take a look at it. You can find the tutorial online at wagv.org or thetalkproject.org. Give it a try. Share it with your family and friends. We've also created several brief, upbeat promotional videos about the Talk Project. Here's a quick peek at one of them. As always, we've continued our legislative advocacy at the local, state, and federal level. I hope you're signed up to receive our email action alerts so you can be part of the solution by calling legislators when they need community input. And by receiving our emails, you'll be reminded about our monthly podcast called Bullet Points, which is a quick update on hot topics and gun violence prevention, and it's all in less than 15 minutes. You'll find out about our other webinars, discussions, and other important events. When the board discussed the theme for this year's event, we quickly agreed on the word unity. We've witnessed increasing violence stoked by bigotry, racism, and intolerance that compelled us to commit to working even harder than ever to ensure inclusivity for the safety of all Angelenos. That led us to today's theme, We Stand United to Prevent Gun Violence. Thank you for being here to stand with us, all of us, united. And now, please enjoy Modest Yahoo's music video of the song A New Day, featuring Women Against Gun Violence Speakers Bureau members Lorraine Moreland and Louisa Ashley.
Grizz, Modest Yahoo. I'ma give up what you. I'ma go back yo. Fighting for our peace with the violence. People trading blood with the diamonds. I feel like we might never learn. Shots to the sky, shots to the sky. Shadows we use to fight darkness, but it's the light that we need to harness. Make the world glow with reflection. They bring guns and bullets and some more. To the youth get shot, blood drop on the floor. To them can't understand what you're fighting for no more. I got to open up that door to a new wave. It's a new day. So leave your boxes with bullets and chains on the floor. It's a new wave. It's a new day. Rise up to the light. The sound is so pure. It's a new wave. It's a new day. In these trying times, what you fighting for? It's a new wave. It's a new day. Keep your head up high till we end this war. A new day. Visions of a new generation. For the youth we fight for salvation. All we need to learn is love. If more bullets fly, more people die. Blood and bone, we are all human. Plant the seed of change, see it blooming. Rain down from above. And some more. To the youth get shot, blood drop on the floor. To them can't understand what you're fighting for no more. I got to open up that door to a new wave. It's a new day. So leave your boxes with bullets and chains on the floor. It's a new wave. It's a new day. Rise up to the light. The sound is so pure. It's a new wave. It's a new day. In these trying times, what you fighting for? High till we end this war. A new wave, it's a new day. A new wave, it's a new day. And now it's time to lay down the weaponry. Fight fire with water, we can't let this be. So let it be, no more jeopardy when it comes to the future.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maya Barrera. I am a past Associate Director of Women Against Gun Violence, and currently I serve as Senior Advancement Director of Harmony Project. Founded in 2001, Harmony Project provides students K through 12 with continuous high-quality music instruction coupled with social and academic support. Learning to play an instrument takes patience, persistence, and focus. The same qualities students need to excel in school and in their future career. We support our students every step of the way to achieve their goals throughout their entire childhood, into college and beyond. With program hubs throughout LA County, we currently serve over 3,500 students from historically marginalized communities across over 120 square miles. In belief that the arts can change both individual futures and communities, I am pleased to introduce to you Kyland Turner, a spoken word poet. Kyland is an alumnus of Youth Opportunities High School, now called College Bridge Academy in Watts. He has performed at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and has performed at the White House during President Obama's administration. As an aspiring writer of film, television, and music, Kyland is using his talents and platform to be an advocate for mental health, community organization, and gun violence prevention.
My name is Kyland Turner, and this poem is titled Shaw Kids. Just another day for Shaw Kids. Crenshaw District, that was one bloody picture. My paintbrush was hushed from the shot till a murk park. Man, that day the sun got real dark, the screams got real loud. Took me back to the shooting I seen on Town Ave. Reason I don't wear blue, seen a dying crip, man, my mind shift to the red. I pledged to the black and you could still get killed for that. While I'm attracted to the arm of the city, build me for that. So it's safe to say, you know where I'm mentally at, cause in our areas, it's never safe for us. So either we run or we carry a gun. It was a hot day on Avalon, marble playing by the white van. Hitting the biggest one was our purpose. Now we didn't know what was occurring. Call swerving the bullets a little too close. I see a brother bleeding and I hear my auntie screaming, oh man. I was 9 years old the first time I seen a black man lose his soul. Crazy thing about it, I only heard about this on the radio. Frozen in the moment, couldn't focus, bullets flying in my dime with the sirens. They'll send the cameraman for a black man. But where the hell the ambulance, shoulder cycle, HD, black boys like me who know about survival before we know about the Bible. Cause in our area it's never safe for us. So either we run
Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Rice Lane, founder of Women Against Gun Violence. When gun violence occurs in a community, children are frequently witnesses to the event and to its after effects. No matter where the gun violence occurs, at school, at home, in their neighborhoods, the impact of this exposure can last a lifetime. I am honored to present our Leadership Award to a first-in-the-nation program created by our own Los Angeles City Attorney Michael Fuhr, the Children Exposed to Gun Violence Initiative, created to address both the immediate and lifelong impact of exposure to gun violence. Thank you, Mike, for being on the forefront of gun violence prevention efforts and for this critical initiative.
Thank you so much, Ann. It's with great pride that I accept one of this year's Courageous Leadership Awards at the Women Against Gun Violence Annual Awards Luncheon. On behalf of my office's Children Exposed to Violence initiative, called our REACH team. Of course, this year we're not gathering in person, but I so look forward to joining with you again in 2022. I want to congratulate each of this year's worthy honorees. LAPD Deputy Chief Emada Tingirides for your work overseeing the LAPD Community Safety Partnership, the Urban Peace Institute for your work reimagining public safety, and of course, our REACH team, led by the marvelous Laura Drino, for your work to intervene and mitigate the impact of trauma caused by gun violence on children. When I was on the city council in the 1990s, I worked to have trained therapists roll out with LAPD to the scenes of domestic violence where kids were present. The science then was clear. Even kids who witness violence, let alone those who are physically victimized by it, are more likely to perpetrate it later on. Now we know much more. We know that the brains of kids exposed to violence-induced trauma will never develop as they were biologically destined to, at least not without timely and effective intervention. In Los Angeles and cities across America, these kids are the same kids with the least access to quality education, the least access to health care or decent housing, recreation, or nutritious food. The traumatic impact of gun violence exposure is associated with learning, health, emotional, and behavioral issues immediately following the event and later in life. And that's where my office's Children Exposed to Violence initiative, called that REACH team, comes in. My office works closely with LAPD and the fabulous nonprofit Children's Institute, which provides therapeutic interventions to kids in need. We initially focused on the area of the city with the most shots fired calls and ensured that when LAPD responds to those calls, it does so with a Children's Institute team member and a community volunteer. That team has looked for kids at the site who are aware the shots were fired and offers therapy. It's returned to neighborhoods to do the same. It educates parents and teachers and school administrators and community members about the signs of trauma in kids and what we can do about it. And because the program is popular and effective, it's growing. Children deserve safe and secure childhoods. And when violence erupts into their lives, we have to step in and act. Deputy City Attorney Laura Drino of my office was integral to creating this program, and she oversees it now. She is absolutely extraordinary. And I'm personally incredibly grateful, Laura, to you for your exceptional vision and leadership. Thanks to all of you. To all of you who support the work of Women Against Gun Violence, year in and year out. And thank you so much for honoring the work of our REACH team as we all strive for a city where one day children will no longer confront the trauma of gun violence.
Thank you, Mike. I have to say I've been inspired by your leadership and commitment to come up with concrete ways to end gun violence. And thank you to Women Against Gun Violence for recognizing the hard work of the REACH team. I have to tell you, the care coordinators and the therapists from Children's Institute, our therapeutic partner on the REACH team, are amazing. I want to give a shout out to our care coordinators, Tiffany, Vanessa, Eduardo, Mauricio, Carla, and our therapists, Esley, Sandy, Shondell, and Ginger, who oversees the program for Children's Institute, and our other partners from LAPD Southeast Division, as well as the Community Safety Partnership Bureau, headed by another woman who's getting an award, Deputy Chief Emada Tingirides. We couldn't do this without our partners. We also rely on community partners, the Housing Authority in Watts that oversees 5 housing developments there, LAUSD Schools, where we do presentations and talk to parents and go see kids in the areas that we serve, as well as many other nonprofit organizations that are in Southeast LA. Not only does the REACH team go out within the first 24 hours or at the scene of a homicide, a shooting, a robbery, whatever it may be, and do crisis counseling, the REACH team shows up with care packages for the kids while we talk to the parents about our program, what trauma can do to a child's developing brain, and why it's so important to get them help while they're still young. We do lots of activities with groups of children as well. We talk about gun violence, how it makes them feel. And this is probably one of the most rewarding things I've done in my career. So, on behalf of the REACH team, I want to say thank you for recognizing the hard work. And our team at Children's Institute will proudly have this in their new offices that are being built by Children's Institute in the area of Watts. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Catherine Hennigan Ohanessian, a past Women Against Gun Violence board member, past board chair, and a 2016 recipient of their Leadership Award. I'm honored today to introduce you to a great personal friend of mine, Craig Darien. Craig has also received the Women Against Gun Violence Leadership Award for his support of the Talk Project and Safe Gun Storage. Today, Craig will share with us memories of Albert Sweet, while we all join together to pay tribute to Al, his life, and his good works. And now, Craig Darien.
Greetings, everyone, and many thanks for your kind words, Kate, and to you, Ernestine Elster, Ann Rice Lane, Margot Bennett, and our many friends at Women Against Gun Violence. Thank you for further recognizing my dear pal and longtime business partner, Albert Sweet. Al was many things to many people: a successful entrepreneur, real estate developer, entertainment executive, a loving patriarch to his beautiful family, a strong civic leader, and a steady philanthropist who was always dedicated to humanitarian causes that affected people of all backgrounds and faiths. But to me, he was just Alfie. At the same time, it wasn't always this way. Alfie never lost sight of his roots growing up in the Bronx, where he began working at the age of 8 during the Great Depression. Significantly influenced by his humble beginnings, Alfie always endeavored to help others, just as he was propelled by others during his long career. This early love of business morphed into a work ethic, an amazing drive that lasted for decades and which led to the founding and steady growth of our company, Occidental Entertainment Group. Alfie so loved our company, but not nearly as much as he loved our wonderful staff. Honored often for his humanitarian endeavors and receiving an honorary doctorate's degree from Technion University for his commitment to bioscience that helps humanity, Alfie's compassion for the most vulnerable among us was ever present throughout his long life. And along with biotech, helping kids and veterans was always at the top of his list. It was 7 years ago that Alfie and I were honored by Women Against Gun Violence with its Courageous Leadership Award. This generous recognition was for our efforts bringing the Talk Project into several school districts, an essential program that teaches parents and caregivers the importance of gun safety, gun storage, and the prevention of gun violence. In truth, Alfie and I never felt that our efforts were either courageous or rooted in leadership. Rather, we were simply doing what we could to advance a very worthwhile program that merited our support. The fact is, it's Women Against Gun Violence and its amazing team that are the true courageous leaders. It is they who are taking on this most important project. In a world where there are countless good people working hard for countless good causes, we know that we can't be all things to all people. And yet, Alfie sure tried. He'd often say, earning money fills the wallet, but giving money fills the heart. Also, building things is important, but building character is imperative. Using character as the truest measure of success, Alfie surely built a sizable empire that will forever be an inspiration to the legions of others who've been motivated by his example. I'm certainly proud to be among them. Alfie passed away in January, but he leaves behind a legacy of kindness that will live on in the hearts and lives of countless others for many years to come. Thank you again for honoring my dear friend, Albert Sweet, and congratulations to Women Against Gun Violence for your many years of outstanding service.
And now, please join us as we welcome Los Angeles City Council member Marquise Harris Dawson, who is presenting the Women Against Gun Violence Leadership Award to the Urban Peace Institute.
Today, I'm here to present the one and only Gun Violence Leadership Award honoree, the Urban Peace Institute. Through Fernando's work as Executive Director of the Urban Peace Institute, Fernando oversees and deploys the networks of community intervention workers that keep our streets safe. These dedicated members of the community utilize their personal relationships, interpersonal skills, and expertise to de-escalate and prevent violence in our communities. Congratulations, Fernando and the Urban Peace Institute. And on behalf of all the community, thank you so much for your commitment to this life-saving work.
Thank you, Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson, for the kind words and introduction. And thank you for being a champion for community-based public safety in our city. My name is Fernando Rejon, and I'm the Executive Director of the Urban Peace Institute. For the last 15 years, we've transformed communities and systems in order to end the cycle of violence and mass incarceration in our communities. Through our criminal justice reform work, we've partnered with numerous impacted youth, gang intervention workers, and other community leaders to end the devastating cycle of mass incarceration and ensure that communities have the opportunity to thrive. Through partnerships with various gang intervention agencies, we've built one of the most robust training academies in the country, focused on building peacemakers, creating safety in a new way. It is truly an honor for UPI to be selected for the Women Against Gun Violence Courageous Leadership Award. We truly value the work that you do to end gun violence in our communities and our country every day. Thank you for this award. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll continue to do the work. Thank you. I have the honor of presenting the Women Against Gun Violence Courageous Leadership Award to LAPD Deputy Chief Emada Tingirides. I've known Chief Tingirides since she was a sergeant in LAPD's Southeast Division, and have watched her rise through the ranks, helping to transform LAPD's approach to policing in communities with the highest distrust for law enforcement. She is a key architect of the LAPD's Community Safety Partnership, which is a relationship-based policing program that focuses on building public trust and problem solving rather than the sole enforcement of laws. She's only the second Black female officer to be promoted to a deputy chief position, and in 2020 was selected to lead the Community Safety Partnership Bureau, a first of its kind in the nation, focused on implementing relationship-based policing. What better time than now to transform the mission of policing in this country? She's a true partner to the Urban Peace Institute and to the communities she serves. With that said, it is my great honor to present the Women Against Gun Violence Courageous Leadership Award to Deputy Chief Emada Tingirides. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emada Tingirides, and I'm a Deputy Chief in charge of a program called the Community Safety Partnership. I am so honored to receive this Courageous Leadership Award from the Women Against Gun Violence. I'm even more honored to receive it from the Executive Director of the Urban Peace Institute, Mr. Fernando Rejon. The work that UPI does in our communities to prevent gun violence is so key in healing our community. I've had the opportunity to work with Ms. Laura Drino, who oversees the children exposed to gun violence in our communities. As a law enforcement officer, to have a resource, a social worker, someone that can connect with the community, walk alongside our police officers to help heal families after a tragic incident is so key in reimagining public safety. Right now, across our country, people are hurting from the George Floyd incident, from the mass shootings, from the multiple homicides that are occurring in different states across our country. People are hurting. It is so key that we come up with solutions to address gun violence, that we work with the youth in our communities to enhance and build community capacity, that we hold our public officials and our city leaders accountable in making change and addressing laws and systems to prevent gun violence in our community. As we work together, heal our communities, and sit down at the table collectively to address gun violence in our community. We can get better. We can heal our communities. This award has motivated me to continue to reach out and partner with individuals, partner with the resources like the Women Against Gun Violence to make change in our communities and begin to heal our community. Thank you so much. On behalf of Chief Michael Moore and the Los Angeles Police Department, I am so honored and grateful. Thank you.
We stand united to prevent gun violence.
Մենք միահամուռ գեցած ենք արգելելու զենքի կորզածման ազատություն։
Estamos unidos para prevenir la violencia de armas.
Nakatayo kaming nakakaisang laban sa karahasan sa baril.
אנחנו עומדים מאוחדים נגד אלימות נשק.
Estamos unidos para prevenir la violencia de armas.
I know you will join me in offering heartfelt congratulations to all of our honorees, and more important, our sincere appreciation and gratitude for their life-saving work in communities impacted by gun violence. I hope this event has left you feeling inspired and hopeful for the future, and committed to doing more to end gun violence. We can't do this work alone. We count on all of you to help us move the ball forward. So talk with your family and friends about safe gun storage. Encourage them to be part of the solution, because change will happen if we stand united to prevent gun violence. To learn more about Women Against Gun Violence and our programs, or to make a donation, visit our websites at wagv.org or thetalkproject.org. And as a quick reminder, both websites are available in English, Spanish, Armenian, and Korean.
Wait, we have breaking news. We just added Filipino to our websites, so now both wagv.org and thetalkproject.org are available in 5 languages.
And now, for one last exciting bit of news. I'm pleased to be the first to invite you to next year's Leadership Awards brunch. In person once again at the beautiful Taglian Cultural Center in Hollywood. If you've been with us there before, I know that your mouth is already watering. So be sure to save the date, May 15th, 2022. And thank you again for being with us today and helping Women Against Gun Violence with its work to prevent gun violence. And now, closing words by the poet Kyland Turner.
This poem is entitled, I know the feeling all too well. Walking down the street not being able to tell if I'm hearing fireworks or gunshots. I tell myself it's fireworks because I've been hearing gunshots in every neighborhood I ever lived in. I know the feeling of scrolling down Facebook and how quickly a moment of boredom can turn into a moment of grieving. I went from laughing at memes to crying at an NBC News clip of my brother Carlos Segovia. He was shot and killed while visiting his girlfriend from the military in this battlefield we call home. There's a war in my own backyard. I know this feeling all too well. Walking down the street and eyeing every car to make sure it's not a drive-by. I watch a family of 4 drive by and thank God silently, because bullets don't have a name on it, but in my city they have a date on it. In 2020, Los Angeles had the highest number of people killed by guns in 10 years. But enough is enough. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, stand for something or fall for anything. And I've watched too many of my friends fall into casket from bullets. So as long as I'm breathing, I will stand. Stand for the children whose parents were killed before they could see them graduate. Stand for the parents who are burying their kids but had dreams to go to their wedding. I'm standing for the ones who called their older siblings for advice, and now those calls go straight to voicemail. I'm standing for the victims who started their day with hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and their day ended with them never being able to see who they could become. Standing for the ones like me who have to look at pictures to feel the love from their families and friends they lost. For the star athlete who was visiting home from college and is now paralyzed from a stray bullet. I know this feeling all too well. But now, we have the chance to stand and make a difference. Hope is on the horizon if we can continue to come together to stand against gun violence. Because we all know this feeling too well. So I'm standing for the fallen ones, and I ask that you stand with me.